Welcome back to the Citizen channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. And we have a little History Boys feature. For a game back in 1989, October the 4th, 1989. We're going to the Littlewoods Cup. There you go, Littlewoods Cup, second round, second leg. A game at Main Road against Brentford. Yes, we were 2-1 down again to Brentford. We had a meeting a few months earlier. We'll talk about that in a second. We were 2-1 down from the first leg, so all was not lost. We could still claw this back. But obviously, again, Brentford were in the third division at that stage. City were in the first division. So a little bit of pride to regain at Main Road. So we're going to have a look at that on the History Boys channel, please. This channel's now monetised. If you can watch any of the ads or follow any of the links, that'll help the channel going forward, and also my film and TV channel as well. So if you can do that for me. If anything interests you, please follow the links, etc. Thumbs ups are always great, and tell your friends about this and push that notification button so you know when these City past, present and forever vlogs are coming out, please, if you can do that for me. Yeah, away from football, the UK in October 1989. Personally, I just actually left probably about a month or so before. I left a job at Quick Save. There was a reason for that. I'm not going to go into it now particularly. And I was actually driving emergency doctor service. I don't think I've ever made use of that. I think it's probably still there now, but obviously it was quite a big thing in the late 80s and 90s. We used to be based up in, where was it called? Just near Bellevue at the time. So I was doing that, doing the sort of graveyard shift, if you like, from 10 till 6 in the morning. So obviously, if you had a poorly child or poorly yourself and you had an emergency doctor turning up, I might have been dropping them off myself. Did it all over Manchester and Greater Manchester. So that was interesting to say the least. So that was me, yeah. The World Wrestling Federation had their first UK event at the London Arena that had just started. And obviously, that was going to go on for a while, wasn't it? Michael Knighton, would soon drop his bid to buy United. His ball juggling skills were okay, weren't they? Don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, the fact he pulled out of that, to be honest with you. Probably a good thing for United, a bad thing for us at the time. Jeremy Paxman made his very first appearance on Newsnight. Jeremy Paxman in 1989, all those years ago. A week later, the first episode of Michael Palin's Around the World in 80 Days. That aired as well, one of my favourite documentary travelogue series ever. Ride on Time, Black Box was the UK #1 single. Tina Turner was top of the album charts with something called Foreign Affair. And Look Who's Talking was sort of the big thing at the cinema that month, October and November. Look Who's Talking. So, it's amazing. Yeah, it's okay. One of the first, when I took my video shop on, that was still quite popular then. That was about 6 years later, or even longer than that. And if you stuck £1 under your bed, it would have been worth £2.65 today. So not much really, is it, for all that length of time? You may as well just spent it, or to say, messing about. Right, back to the game, back to the time, back to the football. Yeah, I mean, despite the humiliation again at Griffin Park, don't forget, we'd actually been beaten in the FA Cup in the January previous to this, 3-1, which was embarrassing enough. But actually to go there in this League Cup and actually get beaten again, or the Littlewoods Cup, get beaten 2-1 was a bit despondent. It wasn't great, was it? But we had a chance to put it right in the second leg, of course, which was great. But don't forget, we'd obviously been sort of had an important couple of victories before this game. There was a sort of the legendary that's gone down in legend now, the 5-1 victory over United. We'd actually won that after that humiliation at Brentford 2-1. I mean, people forget that, but we actually stuffed United 5-1 in the very next game at Main Road, and we also beat Luton Town after that before this second leg of the Littlewoods Cup. So we were doing okay. So obviously we were thinking we could do okay. We were scoring goals, and that was the thing. And obviously a 2-1 deficit was nothing, was it? Surely we could reverse that 1-goal deficit with the way we were scoring goals for fun. It's been there's actually, previous to this match, Brentford was struggling a little bit. They were sort of down with when we played them in the first leg. They weren't doing so well, but they'd actually dropped into the relegation zone. previous to this, and they were actually managed by ex-pain in the bum for City fans as a player, ex-Spurs man, Steve Perryman. So he was the manager at the time. Yeah, a crowd of 17,000, that's all, guys. It was a League Cup, so it wasn't overly populated. I was there for this one. A crowd of 17,874 rocked up to Main Road that night. And the team, interesting team, Cooper in goal, Fleming, Gale, Redmond, Hinchcliffe, White, Bishop, Ian Brightwell, Lake, Morley, and Oldfield. And a couple of unused subs were Megson and McNabb on the bench. Yeah, the game itself, after only 9 minutes, we pulled it level on aggregate as Morley turned nicely on the edge of the box. You can actually watch highlights on YouTube. I'll put a link on there as well of the goals. His shot was only parried by the keeper, and not, as was his way. David White was there to slide in close in to actually put it 1-0 on night and 1-1 on aggregate. But all fairness to him, back came Brentford. A lot of crunching tackles if you watch any of this game back, guys. A lot of crunching tackles all over the pitch, and a Gale interception fell kindly for May, for Brentford, who to equalise from distance. And of course, it put Brentford back in front on the night again, on aggregate again. So work for City to do. That was the half-time score, so it's 1-1. We were still obviously 3-2 down at half-time. Certainly worked for City to do in the second half, and we did quite early in the second half. We actually scored the next 3 goals. We scored 3 goals within around 5 or 6 minutes. That wasn't bad going, was it? The first of those goals was a long punt upfield by Cooper, was headed on it, and Morley kept his cool and kept his feet to evade the defenders and rounded the keeper to again level the scores on aggregate, making it 2-1 on the night. With Brentford naively, they sort of pushed forward and Brentford hoping to get another goal, but it left City with a lot of space, and we were quite fast in though. You think back to the 5-1 victory over United, we were quite pacey on the attack, if you like, or obviously. And we took advantage of the space that Brentford had left, and Ian Brightwell went marauding up the middle of the pitch. And after laying it off, it sort of fell nicely and found Morley again, who swept it in from the edge of the box for his second. And at last, City had a lead, obviously 4-3 on aggregate, 3-1 on the night. And it didn't end there. The crowd were up for it. You could hear the crowd on the YouTube highlights when I were up for it. And as Ian Brightwell sliced across, he went to shoot, and he totally mishit it, but it fell to Oldfield, who was there to side foot home, making it 4-1 on the night and finishing the tie. Brentford were finished then as a force. This 5-minute blast had just took the stuffing out of them, to be honest with you. And City, of course, was safely through, and there's no further score in the game. Safely through to the third round of the Littlewoods Cup. So again, we scored another 4-1. So it had a 5-1, a 3-1. And a 4-1, so not too bad at all. A 3-0, I think, the Luton game. Sorry, not 3-1. So any dreams? Let me just check that. While rather than put it on the telly there, the Luton game. Yeah, 3-1. Sorry, so it's a 5-1 against United, 3-1 against Luton, and of course a 4-1 against Brentford. So we were scoring for fun, guys, weren't we? Of course, we got through to the next round. We defeated Norwich 3-1. At Main Road, and then at Main Road, unfortunately, we lost to Coventry. So that was the end of another dream of Wembley vying the League Cup that season. That was all it ever seemed to be in those days, didn't it, guys? Let's be honest about it. Brentford, themselves continued to struggle. They were rock bottom of the third division for most of November, and were knocked out of the FA Cup as well in the first round. But all was not lost. They had a bit of a bounce back factor, obviously perhaps inspired by the first display against City. They won 10 of the next 13 league games, so they climbed actually up to about a 10th in the table. And despite mixed form for the rest of the season, they did manage to finish a comfortable 13th. But Mr. Perryman, I said he was a bit of a pain, didn't I? He actually rocked the club on the eve of the next season, the very day before the season started, the next season, the 1991 season. He actually resigned and joined big rivals Watford. So, I told you I never liked Perryman, and I'm sure the Brentford fans didn't after that as well. So, there you go. We never did like him, did we? So thanks for joining me for this little History Boys feature. Manchester City 4, Brentford 1, which makes that a 5-3 win on aggregate. 1989 Littlewoods Cup, second round, second leg. Manchester City 4, Brentford 1. And as a cup run, yeah, it lasted a couple of games longer, but not so much more. But you don't need to tell me. I don't need to tell you that when we're talking the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, do I? But it's interesting to know how far we did get sometimes. Anyway, thanks for watching. What we're going to do rest day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. So me here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.